I really wish I had like a mediocre Sonic fighting game from the early 2000s to play right now instead of this crap. Oh, that's convenient.
So 2004 overall was a pretty good year for me. I got through 4th grade. I learned that mixing mint chocolate chip ice cream and Oreo ice cream is like mouth nirvana, and it was the best thing I've ever put in my mouth up to that point. And that was also the year that Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door came out, so you know, I had a pretty good year. So one random summer night that year, I went to the Walmart on the west side of town with my aunt. You see, me and her would take my grandma there a lot, and we'd shop for groceries or whatever else she needed for the week, because she needed help getting around, because she kind of had this condition called a being old. Now, being the young, strapping grandson that I was, I rose to the occasion because, you know, I loved my grandma. She was awesome. She used to tell me all the time that she'd kick my ass for skipping her in Uno. So on this one night that we went, I guess my aunt was just feeling generous, so she told me that once we were done shopping, I could go back to the electronics section and I could pick out one game for myself. Now let me tell you something. This was not taken lightly by me. This, my friends, was an extra special occasion indeed, because aside from birthdays and Christmas, I never got games just randomly bought for me like that. Like, I worked for my money, I worked hard, cutting grass, doing the chores, milking the cow, so I could save up some and buy games and Scooby-Doo VHS tapes and sweet tarts. These are the things I valued a lot back then. So anyway, I'm back there looking at the video game section, looking around, and I got some greats to pick from. I got like Mario Golf, Toadstool Tour, Tony Hawk's Underground, Prince of Persia. But what did I pick? This game was awesome. Not only did it give you a full-fledged arena-style fighting game starring everyone's favorite characters, it gave you a full-fledged arena-style fighting game on the Game Boy Advance. Sonic Battle is just one of those games you don't really question. It just kind of happened, and I'd like to think that we're all better people for it. I mean, maybe you don't agree, but that's okay. I don't judge because I like Sonic Battle. One of my favorite parts about this game is just how fast it gets you into it. You know those games that have like 5 logo screens and then take 2 minutes to start up? Now this isn't that. No, the game loads up, you see 2 screens real quick, and then it's... Even though this game is cheesy and kind of stupid, there's just something so addicting and endearing about it. Part of it's got to be the presentation for me. I am just so shocked to this day that the developers were able to shove all of these graphics from the 3rd dimension on a handheld. It looks freaking great. Everything from the menus to the text boxes to this like fiery hedgehog thing on the title screen and the mode select screen and the battle mode screen and the 2-player screen. God, they really use this a lot, didn't they? It all just pops and looks great and hyper stylized, even on the tiny little Game Boy Advance Classic in the back of your mom's car when the sun sets out and you can't see shit. This is just one of those games that I fully recognize that, yes, it's kind of a wet dog turd, but there's just something I love about the way that dog turd smells. This game is extremely fun to me, from its tightly structured arena battles to its ridiculous cheeseball of a storyline.
I'll show you my ultimate power.
Oh, and in case you're wondering, they literally say cheeseball. Let's talk about the story.
So you have this robot that Sonic finds washed up on the shores of Emerl Town and immediately links it to Eggman because why wouldn't he? It's a robot on the beach. Then you and Tails begin to train it, friendships are formed, bonds are happening, you start giving it Chaos Emeralds so it can grow and learn more. Some other shenanigans happen and it gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds and becomes stronger for it to only then catastrophically turn against you and try to commit world domination, and Sonic is sent to the one and only outer space to stop him.
Yeah, that's a Sonic game.
So basically every encounter that you have with someone in this game boils down to them seeing you with a robot and thinking, well, that looks like a person I need to have a mild disagreement with. And then once they've talked to you for a minute, they decided that instead of working out any differences that they have, they would rather beat the living shit out of you. I mean, what can I say? It's Sonic. It's got a bunch of anthropomorphic animals that talk like they're from the late 90s. This Bat's an agent for the president because why wouldn't she be, obviously? And Shadow's got an edge that Jared Leto can only dream of. But something kind of cool about the storyline is that it takes place after the adventure games and it ties directly into Sonic Advance 3, which is either the developers wanting to have some creative integrity or they just needed a reason to sell you another game. But as dumb and ridiculous as the whole story is, it's almost kind of poetic in a way. I mean, yeah, it's not Macbeth or, you know, like Homer's Odyssey or anything, but you end up finding a thing that you befriended and essentially created, and it's got this awesome climax to this dumb story that a 10-year-old would love, and I guess I'm 10 because sign me up for more of these phrases.
Stone Fist.
So as you can probably already tell, and I've said it like twice now, a Sonic Battle is a fighting game through and through. It's not a traditional fighting game by any means though. This is more of like an arena brawler, like a 2D Tekken or something like that. It takes some cues from Smash though, in the sense that there aren't exactly any combos per se, but you can link attacks together and make your own combos. I love the fighting mechanics in this game, even though they can be kind of repetitive, but you do actually have a fair amount of things to work with here. You got the 4 main attacks, you got an upper attack, a neutral air attack, a neutral special that you can aim, an aerial special, blocking, healing, a dash attack, a follow-up air attack after a heavy attack lands. My god, that's a lot of moves! Something else cool that the wizards over at Sega added in this game is the second bar up here in the top left corner, so whenever you heal or properly block attacks, this also goes up. Now whenever it fills all the way up, you can use one of your special attacks and then one hit kill somebody. Or you can be like me and not accurately predict which special move they're weak to, and then it doesn't hurt them at all and you also lose your meter. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Now, I understand you may be asking yourself, but Jacob, surely a 3D fighting game on the Game Boy Advance controls like a drunken baby slipping in dog barf, right? No, actually, it controls really well, thank you. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the biggest suck point of this game. Oh my god. Grinding sucks!
So the game starts out with you finding this robot stranded on the beach, and then Sonic names him Emerl. Get it? After the Chaos Emeralds. Emerl can adapt and learn from his peers to then learn more moves to use in combat. So you have this skill point system that requires you to get into more fights to gain more points so you can teach him even more moves. I love that you can fully adapt Emerl to your own playstyle because it really gives you this true sense of personalization, and there's so many different styles to pick from. There's Blue Man, Yellow Twink, Red Fist, Rogue, Edgelord, Worthless, Other Robot, and Flower Girl. Even Chaos shows up in this game, but I don't think he's playable or anything. I don't really remember. I didn't play that far into the game for this video. So yeah, customizing Emerald to your liking is fun and all, but my god, the first couple episodes of this game are just a slow, boring grind to try to learn more moves and get more points for them. The fights with the main characters are pretty fun and interesting and engaging and all. Like, I'm personally a big Knuckles guy myself, but the fights that you do with Emerald, I like that they want you to train your main character from the ground up like he's your baby. But what happened to all the fun? Did they think this was good? Oh yeah, sorry mom, I was just having too much fun. Next time I guess I'll pick Emerald, which is monotonous and boring, just like real life. But then eventually you go back to fighting as Knuckles, doing your Running Man punches and your sick meteor summons like a champ. On the menu screen, you may have noticed with one of your eyeballs that there's some other things here. There's the challenge mode, which is kind of like a Smash classic mode, copycat, as you can tell. There's not much more I can say about it. There it is. Then there's the battle mode, which involves battling, kind of like the rest of this game. This is essentially the 2-player mode, but if you're like me, you're probably just gonna load it up with CPUs because none of your other friends had it, and you play this all by yourself in the back of the bus for a month. That got personal. And finally, we have the minigames. Honestly, the only one I ever really played or remember was Mine Hunt, which is basically Knuckles' version of Minesweeper. It was awesome. It's a good time killer. I have Minesweeper on my phone now, so I'll probably never touch this again. I also never played the other ones because I was the only one who had this game. Why did I say that again?
So in conclusion, Sonic Battle is just one of those weird things from the early 2000s that we all kind of just forgot about, like Wonder Balls and Jessica Simpson. So I encourage each of you guys to go out there, try the game out for yourselves, maybe download an emulator, I mean buy the game and give it a shot. Or just go download it.